Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Fallout New Vegas, You Only Live Once. Well, last time, we picked up some very sexy new toys. We've got an incredible new weapon, an amazing suit of extremely light armour, and yes, maybe most importantly of all, a good solid amount of maybe the most powerful drug in the game, the incredible Turbo. And we're also sitting on, yes, a really bloody big pile of loot. So, okay. Today we're going to be moseying back to civilization to convert that into some rather useful bits and pieces. Though yes, a fun little trick before we depart, by the way, which is, before you fast travel, always make sure you're crouching, because then you'll be crouching when you arrive too, which is especially important too for, yes, the destination you're travelling to might potentially be a tiny bit dangerous. Which the gate to Freeside can be, because yeah, just occasionally you might see a fiend or two nearby to Crimson Caravan. Though, fun fact, yes, if you do this, the game does assume you are crouching the entire way there. And because when you're crouching, you travel 25% slower, it will take 25% longer in terms of in-game time for you to actually get there. Still, for me, that's not really a particularly big problem, so just to keep on keeping on, I have a Lucy Rowdy. That's just a mercenary, that's absolutely fine. Not sure you're supposed to be, like, guarding or anything, given I don't see, like, anyone else around. But sometimes mercenaries just get separated from, you know, the caravan they're supposed to be with. I'm sure it's all fine. So, back to Freeside, back to Mick and Ralph's, because, oh yeah, I've got some big business to do with these chappies. There we flipping go. The thing I've been working towards this entire time, the embrace of the Mantis King, and, okay, I know what you might be thinking right now. John, why are you willing to drop 12 grand on this thing? It doesn't actually look that good. After all, these days, you've got Pushy, damage 64, DPS 75, embrace of the Mantis King, that's only gone to, yeah, damage of down at 46, DPS at 68. Big number better, lower number bad. But okay, here's the trick with Embrace of the Mantis King. It's those little extra details down bottom. The bonus crit damage, but more importantly, the bonus crit chance. You see, the funny old thing is, if I actually buy Embrace of the Mantis King right now, I'm still going to be using Pushy for sneak attack crits. Because yeah, Pushy does a really solid amount of damage, and then if it gets a crit, either by just getting a crit naturally, or just because a sneak attack crit is always a crit, it adds a good amount of critical damage on as well. Embrace of the Mantis King, because of its bonus critical damage, does loads of critical damage. Like, the amount of bonus crit damage that gets added on during a sneak attack is more than what Pushy adds on. But because Pushy's base damage is higher, as a result of that, yeah, the overall damage you do, base damage plus critical damage, is better for Pushy. So the reason I'm buying Embrace of the Mantis King is not for sneak attack crits. This weapon is for open combat, and the trick is, once again, that bonus critical chance. But, okay, I think we need to go into this because the game never explains this. Loads of people do not necessarily know precisely how this works. So, the way the game calculates when you get a critical hit is largely, at the start of the game at least, a function of your luck stat. Every point of luck is worth a 1% chance of getting a crit with any given weapon. So 5 luck means a 5% chance that it's going to be a crit. You can then supplement that in various ways. So the first recon berry, critical chance plus 5, that's another 5%, the equivalent of 5 points of luck. Then you add on more perks, traits, etc, to make it more and more likely that yes, every time you hit the enemy, you get a critical hit. The most common being Finesse, which adds another 5 points of luck, precisely the same as the beret. But yeah, right now for me, the number is 10%. 5 luck plus the first recon beret. What bonus crit chance does is takes that percentage and multiplies it. In many cases, it's a 2 times multiplier. In fact, I'm pretty sure, yeah, for Chance's Knife, which I've got already, that's a 2 times right there. Embrace of the Mantis King, meanwhile, is a 3 times multiplier. That goes up from a 10% chance to a 30% chance. A huge difference. And if I just, you know, find a way to give myself an extra 5% crit chance, like taking Finesse, for example, that's 15% for Embrace of the Mantis King. Up to 45, meaning at that point, basically, every other hit is a critical. This is a weapon that's doing a bonus critical damage. It's got the 3rd highest critical damage in the entire game, in fact. So, oh yeah, that's when this thing starts becoming ludicrous. Because if you take the most powerful unarmed or melee weapons in the game, they're going to be doing, you know, regularly about, say, 80 odd damage per attack. This thing, if it gets a crit, that's more like 100. So, if you can be reliably getting crits the majority of the time with this weapon, you're going to be doing more damage with this than with anything else. But okay, given we're talking about, yes, very big amounts of money right now, let's, put on all of my trading gear, and also read a quick Salesman Weekly just to further boost up my barter. So, put all of that together, barter's now looking a lot more impressive. And Embrace the Mantis King, meanwhile, is also looking a lot more reasonably priced. And we could just flog him various explosives, the reinforced combat armor that we got from, the safe house last episode. Then just toss in a few more guns I don't really need for anything. Beautiful. And okay, tragically we still need to, like, you know, give this guy money. But not that much money, all things considered. I feel like we're getting a good deal here. Oh, and I tell you what, while I'm just passing by... Okay, just a mosey back outside, a sneak around the corner, go back to the medical center. I can, definitely afford one or more flipping implants. And you know what? Given we were just discussing critical chance and whatnot, how about the luck implant? Because, yes, there is a very good reason I do need to be taking this one at some point in the near future anyway, so, go on then, Doctor, sow some, like, a lucky dice inside me or something. So okay, that done, let's turn our attention to, the main business I want to do today. And that is that I want to mosey down south all the way to Cottonwood Cove, because, well, one, we've got some existing business down there. Frank Weathers did say go and retrieve his family, who were grabbed just outside of Searchlight. And there they are just down the road, because, this is Searchlight just here, even though I've not actually been there just yet. But yes, on top of that, there's a fair bit of other business I wouldn't mind doing right there. In terms of getting there, though, yes, I'm going to be going a slightly unconventional route. Because you might logically think, okay, go to Wolfhorn Ranch, that's nice and safe, skirt around the radiation, straight down the road to Cottonwood Cove. And that's a terrible idea, because yes, the road to Cottonwood Cove is kinda covered in zombies. Not just any zombies either, glowing NCR troopers. So, though I could take them out using turbo and whatnot, I'm gonna get irradiated at doing it. So that's not the route I want to go. Instead, we're gonna start way up here in Nelson. So okay, what we're gonna be doing today is moseying straight out of the gate here, and going pretty much due east, because immediately around Nelson, the wasteland is pretty clear. There's actually, Legion patrols further down these slopes, in fact. There we go, I could just see one of you right there, so, the fact you're chill makes me think nothing too bad's going on around here. So what we're doing is, going over to you guys, and may as well dig up some graves while I'm passing by, assuming you guys don't mind about that. Nope, you don't mind at all. So, free money, free ammunition, free... Okay, more ammunition, not particularly useful, but the money was nice, so that's good. Yes, as I say, all we're going to be doing is heading further and further east and further down the slope, because what I want to do is make my way all the way down to the river. The trick is going to be, finding the right spot to hop down. So, that over there looks pretty good, all things considered. Weapons away. I just need, a slope I can slide down without it being too much of a problem. Good. So, okay. Check this side. No, I don't like that, actually. So, just got to find the right spot to, drop down. If I decide I've come down the wrong spot and there's no safe spot down, I can just fast travel back to Nelson, try again, etc., etc. Though, that, I think, looks pretty good. So just slide down. Slide it up. Okay. That's maybe a tiny bit more of a drop than I was expecting. And there we go. That's fine. So yeah. We are now down at the water. And we're not down at the water. But like, you know, we're pretty close to the water. It's fine. So yeah, we can just get down right here. Drop to you. Drop to you. I think I like that a bit better, actually. That's fine. So there, just slowly wiggle your way down. And okay, now we're fine. So yeah, now we're at the water, we're a-okay. Because the water is totally safe. You can just go into it and no radiation, no problem, no enemies in the water whatsoever. When I say no enemies, they're 100% our enemies. There are going to be some lake lurks over on the right shore, as I'm looking at it right now. Problem is, yeah, 1, they're not very perceptive. 2, they can't really pursue me into the water because they don't have an attack in the water. And 3, the one projectile they do have is not very accurate, and it's also very slow moving. So, at range, they can't really hit me. So what I'm going to do now is just to swim straight down the river, which is absolutely fine and 100% safe to do. And yes, just watch out on the left too, because obviously there is the Nightmare Deathclaw location that's got, like, you know, the hidden enclave armor, etc., floating around in this bit of the world. But don't worry about that, we don't need to be troubling those guys. So yeah, over to the east here up this ramp. That's Deathclaw territory, so obviously don't worry about that, though I'm gonna be honest, I would have expected to see, like, at least some lake lurks already. Like, I'm not 100% sure where they are. Okay, for some reason, yes, they're just not here today. So honestly, yeah, that's a good thing. Let's not worry about it too much. And there we go, I see a couple of buildings in the distance. My quest markers are saying this is the right way to go. So that'll be Cottonwood Cove, dead ahead, spot on. So, yeah, right now, there's not that much I can do here. Because obviously, when Caesar invites me to his camp, this is where you go in order to take the boat there. But the boat's not present, or rather the boat is present. But yes, there's no one who can, like, you know, direct you to the fort. I think possibly, hang on. Is the raft actually... John, don't get stuck underwater. Is the raft actually there right now? There we go, it 100% is. But yeah, you need to speak to the person next to it to actually, like, activate it. I can't just go to Caesar's camp because I made my way here. But okay, let's talk about why I came here today, because while there's various things I could do in this area, yeah, there's one mechanic in particular that I want to be taking a look-see at. And that is reputation, because reputation in this game is weird. Especially when it comes to, yes, how easy or difficult it is to become liked by certain factions. Tiny factions like Novak, it's very easy to become idolised with them, which is the highest reputation available. Basically, you know, you just do the local missions, and as a result, you become idolised. Brilliant! But with bigger factions, you've got to do a lot more work in a lot of different locations in order to slowly build up your reputation. So I've been doing a bit of work for the NCR, and as a result, we've moved up from neutral to accepted, the first level of a positive reputation. Caesar's Legion, however, is an absolute cocking nightmare to build reputation with. In large part because they're just not that present in the Mojave. Like, you know, they're here at Cottonwood Cove, they've got like one mission for you here at Nelson. When the time is right, obviously I could go to Caesar's camp. That's broadly about it, actually. But they don't really give you much more in the way of a Legion reputation than the NCR missions give NCR reputation. And I think this was possibly a mistake during the development of New Vegas, because we know originally there was going to be a lot more Legion content, but a lot of it got cut for time, meaning, yes, there's a lot less Legion stuff floating around than NCR stuff. Which is really unfortunate, because Caesar's Legion is one of the best factions to have a good reputation with. The rewards you get for doing it are ludicrously good. For this build in particular, oh yeah, we want these guys to like us. Which is precisely why I've come to see Aurelius of Phoenix right here.
Don't try my patience. A nod of my chin and you'll be decorating a cross.
Oh no, Aurelius, don't you worry about me. In fact, I'm here to do you a cocking favour. Specifically, I'm looking for a bounty for dead NCR troops.
The killing of profligates should never go unrewarded. I'll pay you a small sum per tag.
And there we go. He's willing to pay money per NCR dog tag that we bring to him. But when he hands over the money, he doesn't just give money, he also gives us Legion reputation. And I know you're thinking, John, what are you doing? Don't give dog tags to this guy. Instead, just like we were doing before, pop on all of my barter gear, do another salesman weekly, because we are swimming in those right now. And all of a sudden, we can make him an offer, opening up new opportunities to trade dog tags for different bits and pieces.
Go see Decanus Severus when you have tags, in that case. He watches over our stores.
Because yes, this is a well-known trick in the world of New Vegas. You see, Aurelius here will take dog tags for you, and basically, yes, if you give him 1, he'll give you 1 reputation in return. Though as the number increases, he gets a little bit more generous. Bringing him a big number in one go just seems to impress him a bit more. The Decanus outside, however, the chappie right next to this tent here, he'll now trade the dog tags for Legion reputation, but also food supplies, ammo, and explosives. And in the event that you select food supplies, and then offer him 5 tags in one go, you get a ridiculous amount of Legion reputation. But it is blatantly some sort of error in a data table somewhere. Because if you give him 10 dog tags, you get 0 reputation. And if you give him 5, you get loads. So as a result of that, I'm going to say, though it is definitely the easiest way to get faction reputation, just trading 5 dog tags a time for food, yeah, I consider it basically abusing an exploit. And I don't like doing that, so I won't be doing that. Though, that's not to say that's the only thing we could do with this guy. If you just go through his dialogue options, he talks about nearby NCR landmines, and as a result, yes, you can offer to teach him how to disarm NCR mines. Though, naturally, you need some explosive knowledge to actually do that, so let's leave that alone for the time being. And on top of that, you could teach him how to make powder charges, if you grab the powder charge schematics from the NCRCF back in the day. Which I did, but then forgot to actually mention I'd done, because I grab anything that's not nailed down. So I did pick those up, they're in one of the 2 barracks back in the NCRCF, and yes, as a result, you can hand those straight over to this guy for a little bit of faction reputation.
Tin cans, gunpowder, scrap metal, and duct tape? We won't have any trouble finding those ingredients.
So there we flipping go, a tiny bit of Caesar's Legion fame. In fact, quite a bit actually, like almost as much as you get for doing an entire mission with these guys. So here we go. What I've got right now is 12 NCR dog tags. The point is though, 12 isn't really quite enough, because like I was saying a moment ago, the more dog tags you turn into Aurelius, the better the rewards you get in terms of reputation. So if I give him 12, he'll be somewhat impressed and I'll get more reputation than if I just handed in 1 then 1, etc, etc. But it's not gonna be much more. If I go to like 15 dog tags, that'll be worth 24 Legion fame. So, you know, I'm getting 50% more than if I was just handing them in 1 by 1, where I get 1 reputation for 1 dog tag. But the real sexy stuff happens at about 30. Once you hit 30, you get to double the reputation. So 30 NCR dog tags get you 60 Legion fame. And yes, given there are so cocking a few Legion missions in this game, you kinda need that big boost of Legion fame. So what we're gonna do now is just leave that guy alone. He's just naffed off outside anyway, which is ideal because he's got a copy of Groganak the Barbarian right here. There we go, melee weapons up to 83 thanks to all the alcohol I've been drinking. Beautiful. But yeah, what I need more than anything else is just more NCR dog tags so I could get more Legion reputation. And I think I know precisely where I'm gonna get them from. But yes, while I'm here and before I forget, the Weathers family, which I was supposed to be rescuing this entire time.
Please, ma'am, take pity on us. Free us, I'm begging you.
And don't you worry, Mrs. Weathers, I will take care of that right now. After all, your husband Frank sent me to save you.
That man knows where we are. Just when I didn't think it could get any worse. At least he's too much of a coward to come after us himself. What if he ended up in this pen with us?
So yes, it turns out that Mrs. Weathers is not too keen on her husband right now.
My family was ambushed by a pack of Legion raiders near Searchlight, and Frank ran off, the gutless coward. I have no idea where he is, but at least we're free from his abuse.
So yes, it turns out Frank was not a very good husband. So I have a quick chat to Canyon Runner here.
Awe, have you come to sell or trade for captures?
And 100% good, sir. That is precisely why I'm here.
It's a weak bunch, to be honest. I'd rather have extra currency to buy supplies or better captures off traders. There's a boy, too old to be trained as a legionary. Normally they would have to die, but he's too frail to make trouble. The old woman's dried up, but she could keep house or do gardening if she can learn to keep her mouth shut. The girl's the only one of real value, young enough to breed, not hideous to look at. What's your offer for the lot?
And luckily, with Speech of 50, yes, we could trick him into thinking there's something very wrong with these captives, and as a result, they're not really worth that much.
Pustula? What? Is that contagious? That doesn't sound good at all.
So as a result, yeah, just 150 caps and we can get the lot of them.
Seems I'm fortunate to get that much for them, given the circumstances. Here, this is the key to their collars. You want to take those off before you go far, trust me.
So there we go, we can now just free them, send them on their way, etc, etc.
Thank you. I don't think we'll ever be able to repay you, but we'll do our best one day, once I found a place to settle.
And yes, officially now, the mission says, return to Frank Weathers. Though, it feels like these guys probably don't want him to know where they've gone. Which is convenient, because I don't know where they've just gone. They were just very vague on the question. But I believe they do ultimately end up, yes, back at the Old Mormon Fort in Freeside. So, back to you, good sir, and yes, I've got good news and bad news. Oh, better and better, right, 900 XP up front before we even get to that noise. Beautiful, so we've got a level up waiting for us, but okay. We could tell him they're going to the Old Mormon Fort, which I'm not sure how I know, because they didn't say that, but okay, I just know that, thanks to my incredible psychic powers, but yes, with Speech of 35, we can let him know that his family doesn't want him around anymore, and he needs to sort himself out a bit.
You're right. I've been a mean son of a bitch the past couple years. It won't be easy, but I'll try going sober. Maybe then my family will want me back. Thank you for doing what you can. I won't let this go to waste.
So there we go, mission complete and level 12. So okay, this is where life gets a bit tricky, by the way. Basically, yes, every level where you get a perk between now and level 20 is going to be an agonizing nightmare for me, because this is the point where the ludicrous perks start coming online. What we are going to do, though, is, yes, take unarmed straight up to 70. You'll see why in just a second. As for the other 7 points... Actually, I'm going to do something a little bit on the weird side right now, which is, I think I swore previously, yes, I was just going to take survival up to 45 so that I could take the travel light perk. I'm actually going to boost that up to 50, as it turns out. And the other 2 could just go into sneak, so, right, we'll get back to survival in just a second, but yes, the level 12 perk. I genuinely am not sure what I'm going to pick here because there are some amazing options. Number 1, Finesse. So if I take this, that's another 5 points of luck. So blend Luck 6 with the Beret and Finesse, and together that's a 16% chance of landing a crit. Or 48% with Embrace of the Mantis King. Like every other hit being a critical. That is ridiculously powerful. And then there's Piercing Strike. So, now unarmed is 70, I can make every single one of my unarmed and melee weapons negate 15 points of DT on any enemy. And this is extraordinarily generous, because 15 DT basically means 99% of enemies in the entire cooking game. Like, Deathclaws have only got 15 DT. The most elite of Mega Scorpions goes up to like 18. Anyone wearing faction armor, not a chance they're getting up to 15. So, yeah, this is ludicrous right here. And then the silent running. Because basically, yes, as I've said previously, in this game, the faster you move, the more noise you make. So even if you are crouched and hidden behind the enemy so they can't see you, they might still detect you anyway because they literally hear your footsteps. if you take silent running, basically while you're crouched, you're silent, no matter how fast you're actually moving. But I don't know how good that is for me if I'm already wearing armor that only weighs 2. I'm already making a very tiny amount of noise, so yeah, how much does this actually help me? I don't know, definitely a bit, but it is somewhat difficult to quantify. But yeah, I think on this occasion, I'm gonna go for Piercing Strike, because that is just useful under all circumstances when it comes to fighting. Like, the additional damage I'm going to be doing from negating basically all armor against 99% of enemies is greater than the benefit I get to damage from some extra critical hits. So yeah, we're taking Piercing Strike, but bloody hell, there are some good options available for a melee sneak build at level 12. Still, back outside and back on the open road here, because yeah, there's one location I want to go and visit next, specifically because I need some more NCR dog tags. So yeah, just start here at the 2 shops down the road from the 1HA, which I think I forgot to actually get near enough by to tag the last time I was passing by, so may as well, like, you know, tag you while we're here, good sir. Beautiful. But yeah, from the Grub and Gulp rest stop, we can basically turn due east. I've set myself a custom marker so I don't get lost. And yeah, head straight for the bottom of Lake Mead. Because floating around in this bit of the world is Camp Gulf, one of the NCR's many outposts. And yeah, just because it's actually pretty nearby to the road, they should be 100% safe. We've literally got, yeah, the sandbags right there. So once we're inside, we should be fine. But yeah, there's not really much in terms of wildlife in this bit of the world. So, right, nice and easy, we've made our way here. Lovely. And the reason I've come here specifically is, yeah, there's something a bit weird about Camp Gulf, which is, you may recall back in Camp Forlorn Hope, basically, that place was full of tents that were just open. And as a result of that, yes, any murder you do in Camp Forlorn Hope has a good chance of being detected, because if someone just walks past the tent, they'll see the corpse inside. And the same's true over in Camp McCarran, the tents are all open. But for some reason, here in Camp Gulf, that's not the case. Every tent is its own tiny pocket universe. And despite having 3 or 4 beds in every single tent, there are most definitely not that many people sleeping here overnight. The number, in fact, is, if you get lucky, basically 1 per tent. So, as a result of that, this is a relatively easy way to harvest a decent number of NCR dog tags. So, just wait a few hours until everybody goes to bed. Lovely. And with that, Operation Murder begins. So, in we go. What I'm hoping to see is 1 soldier. Probably planning to go to bed in just a second. So we just get behind you. You have no idea I'm here. And his armor, combined with his hat, is probably giving him a DT of somewhere around 12 or 13 or something. Meaning, I now get to bypass all of that, and it is simplicity itself to finish him off right now. So, 1 mega punch right there. No one saw it because he was the only person here. So I just grab the dog tag, step outside, move on to the next tent, and if we're lucky, there'll just be 1 person in here as well. There we go, and no trouble, sir, no trouble. So yes, the number of beds is completely random. There is no relationship between... Okay, he's not gone to bed, but like, I am hidden, so that's still fine. So you just go down, held myself to dog tag number 2. Make sure we get the ammo too, John. There's no reason not to. So yes, anyone who's just like floating around will see me moving from tent to tent, and then there will just be a pile of corpses in all those tents in the morning. But no one will ever think of pinning this on me, so that's a fine. Though yes, on this occasion, no one in that tent, which is a shame. Though it is hilarious I am being detected by this guy right now, watching me go in and out of these tents, but they will never figure out it was me. Just be careful not to kill the named people, okay? The named people are important. We might want to come back here later and do a mission in Camp Gulf. So, named people get to survive. And I know what you're thinking, John, why are you murdering these people? You could just, like, go up to them and then do some pickpocketing. And, well, one, I can't do that for this guy because he's not got an NCR dog tag for some reason. But two, yeah, pickpocketing has got a hard cap to its success chance. It can't go above 85%. And I do not want a 50% chance of being caught annoying the NCR. That's not acceptable. So, murder it is. Okay. Finished taken out, yes. The isolated sleeping NCR troopers. And that gets me up to 15. Because I don't want to be killing the named people in case I need them down the line. And 15 is better. Because, yeah, that's the minimum threshold for 24 Legion fame. But if I could get up to 20, that would jump straight up to 36 Legion fame. It's a huge difference for only 5 more tags. So, okay. That was the easy bit. Now life gets a bit trickier. Still. I can't help but notice yeah. There's a whole bunch of watchtowers around here. No one's really paying too much attention to them. In part because, yeah, the misfits are asleep in the tent at the end. And you, sir, you're named, but you just went away over here. So, okay. That means we've got a couple of nice, easy, exposed people, though. He just naffed off over there. It's not ideal, because now, you know, someone might find him or something. So just get over here, help myself to a dog tag. That is 16. There's definitely at least one more watchtower over on, yeah, this side of the base up here. You're even more isolated, buddy, so you'll be very easy pickings. But yeah, this is a bit more dangerous, because now we're not just in a pocket universe. It means no one will ever find anything. These guys are, you know, a little bit more exposed and whatnot. So, okay. Hidden. One uppercut for maximum hitting power. Down you go. I literally popped his head. Beautiful. And myself to dog tag at 17. Okay. Is there one more over by the lake? I'm trying to remember if there is or not. Oh, there may or may not be, but there's definitely 2 more way over there, so okay. Sneak up behind a person there. Next, knock you. I was about to say unconscious. Not unconscious, John. They are most definitely not unconscious. Their limbs are being sent flying right now. So, okay. Have myself to yet more dog tags. That should be 18. Then 19 for you over here, buddy. And then, yeah, is there like a one down there nearby to the water? Because if there was, that would be cocking ideal. But yeah, now your friends are dead, so this should not be a problem, though. No. There we go. Just rotate around him fast enough, he'll forget I'm there, which is hilarious. So, down you go. Your armor is broken. Your armor has come off. The dog tag is mine. That should be... hang on. 19, right? Yep, 19. I'm willing to accept 20. Because 20 for 36 Legion fame is a ridiculously large amount. Also, apparently I just discovered this here lake. Beautiful. And oh yeah, there's definitely one watchtower over there. This has worked out absolutely cocking spot on. No one anywhere nearby to any of this. Just mosey up behind you. One more uppercut, buddy. Your armor goes flying into the lake. Beautiful. Actually, so does the rest of you. Sorry, need to go get the rest of him now. And there we go. 20, though. John, why are you leaving money behind? These guys have literally got money on their corpses. So, okay. That is 20 NCR dog tags. If I went to 25, that'd be worth another 12 fame, all by itself, so... just out of interest, you guys like have even more cocking watchtowers over on this side of the resorts? Oh, hang on. Hang on. They do. But one, there's no one in that one. And two, there are cazadors down there. Okay, we're not messing with cazadors. You know what? I'm happy with the number of dog tags I've got. That's fine, actually. Okay, so that's all I can easily get out of, yeah, Camp Golf. But I still want that 25. I feel like 25 would be an amazing number to get to. And I think I've just realised where I can get them. So, just nipping back to Nelson for a second here. Don't worry, lads, it's not you, because, yes, that would actually require me to be... I was about to say that would require me to be invisible. But I don't actually need to kill you or do anything else. All I need to do is pickpocket you, though. Gosh darn it, that's not allowed. So, okay, there's only two options when they're up on the crossers. But that's fine. That wasn't who I was thinking of anyway, because I do not want to be burning yet more cocky stealth boys today. I'm looking for some easier pickings, and if I just go north, then yeah, I'm pretty sure if I'm remembering correctly here, just around the corner, beyond that tiny gap there, here we go. We're now, yeah, straight under Camp Forlorn, I hope, and that's up there. Just be a bit careful, in case the odd gecko wanders in. But the Legion's favourite trick in this area is putting mines under NCR corpses. So if anyone comes to get the corpse, they get exploded. But what if I didn't actually want the corpse, but instead just the dog tag? I mean, the corpses have presumably still got dog tags on them. Right, so... Okay, question being, where are these cocking, you know, corpses? Because I know they're supposed to be here, though. Oh! Okay. There's one. Just... be careful, because... I don't need to pick this guy up. I just need to get there. We go. 21. Back away, because there's probably a mine under there. So, okay. That's 21. Is there a second corpse with a mine, but also a dog tag round here? Can't remember how many there are. Like, I very rarely come this way, because it can be a tiny bit dangerous. And on top of that, is Camp Forlorn Hope actually still, like, standing, though? John, that's a mine. But no corpse, unfortunately. The corpse has despawned, but the mine's still there. So, right, that's where there would have been a corpse, but, like, it despawned for some reason. So, tragically, no dog tag. But yes, like I was just saying, sometimes, after you deal with a Camp Forlorn Hope for the Legion, it becomes abandoned. And, like, you know, there's nothing there but, like, insects and whatnot. But it doesn't look abandoned to me on this occasion, so... oh, that opens up an even more interesting opportunity. So, if you recall, some time ago, I did some really good medical work to these here injured troopers, okay? I helped them all out with some incredibly impressive surgery. Well, now, lads, unfortunately, it's time to pay the piper. Because these guys presumably have a dog tag. Right, so all I need to do is just, yeah, get, like, behind him in a corner. So there we go. I don't get detected. Then one uppercut. This is not the first time I've managed to miss with that uppercut, so... you know what? Let's just try, like, something else for a second here. Something that's, like, you know, not gonna miss. Oh, the Liberator! That would be an amazing weapon, given I was literally awarded it for, like, you know, what I did here. So, try this again. One Liberator strike. Okay, that worked just fine. No one seems to be angry at me. So, right, just hang on. Go over to you. Help myself to sometimes people just spawn double dog tags. So I'm going to be a good person and only take one. Because, yes, like, this is just the game having a bit of an awkward moment for some reason. So, just get around the back of you. There we go. Nice and hidden. More surgery. I'm even wearing, like, you know, a nice science outfit right now and whatnot. So, that's fine too. And just one more. Just hide right behind him. There we go. Beautiful. The doctor, of course, is already dead, so I can't keep... Hang on. I swear I just went to detect it for a split second there. So, if we could stop, like, messing up, that would be ideal. Let's do a backslash, just for fun. So, oh yeah, that was good and dramatic and also slightly flickery right there. So, help myself to one tag each, because more would be unfair and greedy. That should be, yeah, 24, right? 24. So now, I just need... I was about to say I just need one more. And you guys have decided to set up, yes, a bloody weird out-of-the-way tower all the way up there, which is flipping perfect, because no one's going to see that. So, just a mosey up top. You've got a lovely view from up here, actually. Like, you know, all the way down to Helios 1 and whatnot. Then we just rotate around him until he gets bored. Nice, quick attack for you, good sir. Obviously, we're just bypassing your armor. And there we go. Another 2 dog tags. I don't know why, that just sometimes happens. But I'm going to be a good person and not take the seconds. And I think 25 is a very, very good number. I am fine with that. Oh, and perfect timing, my old friend Aurelius has, yes, decided to come outside and stand on the balcony. My friend, have I got some good stuff for you? Because if I tell him to take every dog tag I've got, that is 25 dog tags, which would immediately give me 48 Legion fame. Okay, that is a ridiculous amount, because you need 100 to max out your reputation with the Legion. So this is a huge step in that direction.
A good bit of hunting. Here's your payment.
And on top of that, I get a tiny bit of money too. But the money is completely irrelevant. What's more important... Oh yeah, we have bypassed accepted and gone straight up to liked. Which is, yeah, 50. Right there. So, okay. Caesar's Legion are now very fond of me. So, there's a couple of rewards for doing that I can't get access to just yet, because the person I need to speak to is in Caesar's camp. However, there is one thing I should be able to do immediately. I just need to, be in an appropriate location so an agent of the Legion can come up to me and say hi.
Though you aren't of the Legion, you've aided us more than once. We acquire many items on our raids, some useless to us, some forbidden. I've provided you the location of a drop box where you can obtain these items. The box will be replenished every few days. Please be aware that we'll assume any items left in the box will be unwanted and be removed and destroyed.
And there we flipping go. A disguised Frumentarius just runs up to in various locations around the wasteland. I found him near the 188, which is where I've seen him spawn before, so... oh yeah, this here. This is the start of something that doesn't seem very important, but can actually be really bloody useful. And thus begins Caesar's Favour. And this starts off very, very simple indeed. All it means is, there is now a box where you could go and get some stuff. It's located nearby to Cottonwood Cove. Here we go on a rock next to the road, and yeah, it's super easy to find because you can literally just follow the quest marker to get there. And yes, like the guy was saying, take what you want, leave anything you don't. And the loot in these boxes is pretty bloody good. Like doctor's bags are not that common. For me, useless of course, but you know, still worth a good solid amount of money. Other boxes just contain cash, which is absolutely fine. There we go, a pretty decent amount in fact. So, you know, that probably seems like a really nice little thing to have. Not game-changing or anything, but funny old thing about that. In a few days' time, the boxes are going to be refilled. And that's great, but, yes. What we're seeing right now is not as good as it gets. if you keep your reputation with Caesar moving in the right direction, oh bloody hell, things start getting good. Still, I would say, having made some exciting new friends down in Cottonwood Cove, how about we call it a punt there? But next time... Right, there's a lot we could do at this point. After all, the Legion is very much not the only faction where, yes, getting in their good graces could be very, very rewarding indeed. So, maybe, just maybe, we'll turn our attention to a different faction next episode. So, hopefully, you're looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been a Fallout New Vegas, You Only Live Once. Thank you very much, and goodbye. If we just hide the bodies, nobody needs to know about this. Yes! My stupid plan has worked! It turns out I'm a genius! The giant rat scorpion is not gone! Oh, hang on, there's more yet though, I'm still being very shocked. Guys, where's the NCR? Nobody needs to know.